Inch-Eye Comic Guy here with another Comicsgate unboxing. So, I have my stack of Comicsgate books and I'm finally getting around to actually opening them up. So let's pull out the trusty handy dandy little razor and let's see what this Gemini mailer holds. There we go. Get that. Get the bottom. Nudge the camera by accident. Let's see. Oh, wow. This is really sealed. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Oh, look at this. It has bubble wrap. Awesome. I can snap that later. It's SuperDead. This is actually a comic book I have really been looking forward to. Look at this. It's basically, zombie stuff with Superman. With this Superman-styled character. I remember when John Malin was first talking about this book. Awesome! Yeah, I'm really glad this is the first book that I opened, because this has been one of the books I've really been looking forward to the most to reading. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and shut off the camera. I'm going to read through the book. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about how things went. Alright, cool deal. So I just got done reading SuperDead, and I'm sorry to say, I think my expectations were a little bit too high, because I was left a bit disappointed with this outing. Let's go over the details. Your packaging we're looking at a 3 out of 5. It came in a Gemini mailer, which is exactly what any Comicsgater should expect from a Comicsgate book coming to their home. The cover art, I believe this is the John Malin cover, is actually really good. I mean, the character's looking right at you. You can get the kind of demon religious vibe. You get a bit of the superhero vibe from it. So it's actually a really good quality cover that if I saw this at a comic book store, I would probably pick this book up. So I'm going to give the cover a 4 out of 5. This is a really good cover for this book. The interior artwork, however, as we open this up, is not as good. I mean, it's not that the interior artwork is, bad. It's just that the interior artwork leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, it is, in my opinion, a step below professional grade artwork. So I would give this a 2.5 stars out of 5. I mean, it's serviceable. It gets the job done. It's just not as good as it could be. Some of the proportions are off. Some of the faces, characters got butterface every once in a while, depending on what page you're looking at. And the coloring certainly doesn't help at all, because the coloring isn't that good. I mean, the coloring is serviceable. I mean, it gets the point across. It's just, it doesn't enhance the story. I mean, given the choice, I would rather have seen black and white versus color, given the poor quality of the colors involved. So, interior artwork, like I said, is just below professional standards. Unfortunately, it's below industry standards enough to actually distract you as a reader. So, I'm going to give the artwork again 2.5 stars. The coloring is definitely only going to get 2 stars. And unfortunately, the lettering is going to get 2 stars as well, because, again, it's just below industry standards, but done in a way that it is genuinely distracting. I mean, the hero here, he's talking, but it looks like a narration balloon. It doesn't look like an actual dialogue balloon. It's kind of clear that the dialogue balloons were done on a computer, and that you're using, Comic Sans font by all intent for what it looks like. It doesn't look like this was hand done, obviously, but I can tell, and it's distracting me from the actual content of the book itself. Further along, you get the font that you've got for the hero, who is, of course, now been turned to this zombie character, and it looks like he's talking, but then you realize he's not really talking. It looks like he's thinking to himself. So that's distracting too. I mean, is he talking? Is he thinking? Are we inside his head? Or are we outside of his head? And since I don't know, it confuses the entire issue. It seems to be whenever you get a green color around the dialogue balloon, he's speaking, and the red one is him thinking. I guess it's just confusing. The lettering again, 2 out of 5 stars, not very good. And this unfortunately brings us to the writing. If you read the summary of this comic book on Indiegogo, then you've read the comic. There's no more substance than what's in the summary on the page. And that is tragic. I mean, here we have this superhero who stopped this threat to his city and got turned into this demonic creature because of that. But we only really know that because we read the campaign on Indiegogo. We don't get any sense of that battle that took place or how he got transformed. If I pick this thing up without actually having read the Indiegogo campaign, I would be completely lost. And in addition to that, not only do we have the fact that there's no surprises in the book whatsoever, there's no characters in the book. I mean, this is clearly a dose of fan fiction. Valor is, the demonic character. He's supposed to be Superman. And then we have this girl character later on. She's supposed to be Lois Lane. And it's only by inserting these known archetype characters into the story that it has any substance. Otherwise, you don't know who Emma is. I mean, heck, it's not until you are literally, halfway through the book, more than halfway through the book, you even realize that she has a connection to Valor. And as for Omega Atlas being the new hero in town, I mean, yeah, they do plenty to make you feel that this character is a jerk, but you don't understand why he's a jerk. In fact, I'm not sure he's human. Because of his dialogue balloons being square, I'm kind of under the impression he's a robot. So who programmed this guy to be such a jerk? I mean, the book does come with some nice things. I mean, you do get this little poster card here, and you get, this kind of poster card here. Once again, a play off of Spider-Man. You got a couple of cards that came with it. That's fine. I'm just disappointed. I really expected more. I really expected better. I had been super enthusiastic for this book and really using this as a way of exploring the emotions of a Superman-style character and what they would be going through if the world simply decided to forget who they were and all the things that they had done for our society. But I don't get any of that in this book. I mean, it literally reads like I sat down with a buddy who told me about a comic book that they had read written by somebody else. That's what this feels like. It feels like a summary. It doesn't feel like an actual comic book that I read. And that really is the biggest downfall of this book. So SuperDead, I'm going to give this 2.58, rounding up to 2.6. 2.6 out of 5 stars. It's below average for a professional comic book. Lots of really good ideas that just, I don't know if they just didn't have time or what, but it just wasn't executed very well. And yeah, not exactly the best way to start out the week for new reviews, but that's what happens.